So everyone can see my screen, right?
Yes, Sid.
Okay. So last class was about log4j logging. Okay. So the next topic that we are going to discuss is on running test suite. So far we have been running our tests by just right clicking on a test class and doing run as, okay, like this. Okay, directly going to test class, right clicking, run as test ng test. But in real time that will not be the case. We need to run them as a suite. So far if I go and right click on this and do run as, okay, or just double click on that inside this class, if I do run as, it will only run the test present in this class, okay, and it will not run the test present in other classes, okay. Okay, so if you want to run all tests at a time, this is not going to work, okay. So in that case, if you remember, if you recollect the test in the tutorial, I told you how to run test in the test cases as a suite. So when there are 10 test cases or 10 test classes, each containing multiple tests, if you want to run all of them, then you need to create a suite. So in order to create a suite, we need testng.xml. Okay, so testng.xml is complete configuration which tells what is your test suite, what are the different classes present in it, and what are the different tests present in it, and in each test what are the classes. Okay, you can include group, exclude group. I have explained you all that stuff. So now I am going to create a testng.xml, so which is nothing but suite. Okay, so since it is also a configuration file, a suite configuration file I can call. So I am going to create a new file, okay, and name it testng.xml. Okay, so I have already created it. In it, I need to mention the suite name. So I can call it a regression suite. Okay, that is name of your choice. Then in this suite, you need to add all the tests, okay, along their classes. Now this in this case, my regression suite consists of two tests. One is home page test, another one is login page test. And this name you can give any name, okay. This is just name of your test. So in it, I need to mention all the classes which are used to test this home page test, okay, or which are used to achieve this test, uh, functionality testing, okay. For me, in order to achieve this test, I only need this class. So what is that class? Test dot homepage tests. If you remember, here I need to give fully qualified class name, or okay, what is fully classified uh, qualified class name? If I go inside this class, so this is homepage test, right? Here, what is the package name? Tests, okay, tests dot and the test class name. So this is the fully qualified class name, okay. I just gave it over here. Similarly, I have added another test. I named it as login page test, and the test classes under it are test login page tests, okay. So similarly, I have created if you remember in last class, I have created the same test, okay, the same login page test. I renamed it to login page test new, where I implemented all the logging, okay. So it's the same login page test, but additional logging functionality. So suppose if I want to add that to, how to do that? simply go here, okay, and under login page test I need to put that in login page test only. Copy login page test new. Okay, so see now, in order to test this functionality I have two test classes. Similarly you can go on adding n number of test classes. Okay, now my test suite is ready and I named it as testng.xml. Okay, so now if I right click on this testng.xml, do run as testng suite. See, now I got this option testng suite, but if I right click on any class, it just gives me testng set test and it doesn't show us the testng suite option. It shows that option only when you create a testng suite.xml. Okay, see now it is giving that option. If I do select that, now it will run all the three tests. Okay, total tests run are 4, failure 0, skips 0. If I go over here, see, first let me go into this home page test home page test. How many tests are there? Even though it is having multiple tests in it, but only test with enabled equal to true are run. Okay, so this first test, this is enabled equal to false. Okay, so it was not run. uh, Similarly, okay, this for this test enable equal to true, so this test was run. For this test enable equal to false. So out of three tests present in this, three test methods present in this class, only one test method has enabled equal to true, so it was only run. Similarly, if I go to this login page test, here also there is only one test with enable equal to true. In fact it has only one test and enable equal to true is true for it. And if I go to the third one, similarly it has only one test. Okay, so the other being the before method, after method, and the data provider, they are not tests actually. Okay, so basically what I am trying to say is, now we just ran all tests as a suite and we were successfully um, successfully ran all the tests present in this suite. Okay, so suppose in future if you add 10 more classes over here, okay, so all that you need to do to run all of them is just go and add them in this suite or the suite.xml file. Okay, then only testng knows which test to run by just looking at this testng.xml configuration file. Okay, okay, now we are able to run this as a suite. So first one was running single test class from Eclipse. How did we do that? Right click, then run as testng test. Okay, so this was this, just right click on any class name, do run as testng test. Okay, but however we did not want that, so we want to run all the tests. How to do? Running suite from Eclipse. How did we do that? Create testng.xml and add all the tests, then right click testng.xml, do run as testng suite. Okay, this is, we just did this now. Okay, but here also we are doing a right click on the suite and doing run as. Okay, this is also not a valid case. In real time we don't do that. What we do, we create a jar. Okay, then from command line run that. Okay, so for that, running from command line. So this is what we need actually. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new package, call it test runner. Okay, in it create another class with main method. Okay, this time I'm going to create a class with main method, and I'll name something um, okay, let me rename this to test runner factory. Okay, and it has the test runner.java. Okay, so the package name is test runner factory, and the class that I created in it is test runner.java. It has the main method. Okay, now what I'll do, test ng. Okay, so this is the class, this is the class that is present in testng jar. Okay, testng, uh, name as testng runner equal to new testng, and import this arg testng. Okay, here this I have actually created object of this testng class. If I see methods present in this class by doing this dot. Okay, so there are many methods. Okay, run suit set suit. Okay, so there is set test suits to which I need to pass list of string suits. Okay, basically I need to pass a list of suits that I want to run. Okay, list, you'll understand, list of string suit name, I'll call them suit name strings equal to new array list string. Okay, and to that I need to pass the suit name string, but see I just created this array list. Oh, this suit name strings. I need to add data to it. How to add? Just that array list dot add string, that is your suit name. What is my suit name? My suit name is testng.xml present in conf folder. So what I will do, conf testng.xml. Okay. Okay, let me do it this way. First I created an array list whose name is suit name strings. To that suit name strings I added this string. Okay, what I am telling is this testng.xml present in conf is one of my suits. Okay, so now I created object of this testng class. To that I am calling this set test suits method and passing this uh, a list of suits. Then last thing that I need to do is dot run. Okay, see, just 4 steps, 5 steps. Now I can do run as Java application. See, this is just like any another Java class which has main method in it. I can right click on it, do run as Java application. So see, the tests are being run. These are tests present in test suite. Okay, so ignore this exception, you don't need to worry about it. This is not related to our test. Okay, so basically see here, total test run are 4, failures 0, skips 0, that means all tests are passed. Okay, passed. So same thing that we did by right clicking and doing run as on the testng suite, the same thing now we are able to do that programmatically. Instead of manually going and right clicking and doing run as, now we are calling that using this piece of code. Okay, now this is my main method. If you remember, main method is entry point into execution. Okay, so using maven and using maven's pom.xml, I am going to tell that okay, this is my class that contains main method. Okay, and um, when maven starts executing this test, okay, so since we already told that this is my class that contains main method, it directly comes into this method and start executing this method, and this method is calling this testng.xml internally. Okay, programmatically we are calling this testng.xml. Once we call this once it understands this testng.xml, okay, it understands okay, this is my suite and it has 2 tests in it. Okay, and for each test it has the corresponding class also. It simply goes and starts executing all these tests. Okay, okay, let me convert this to maven project, then you'll understand. So running from command line, first step in it is create a class with main method and okay, and call um, testng.xml programmatically. Okay, that we just did it. Okay, next thing is, if you remember, when we had maven tutorial, I told you, when I do maven clean install, okay, inside target folder, all our jars and all the dependencies, all the libs, whatever needed for executing this jar will go on placed. Otherwise, in another way, maven build your complete project, okay, and build a jar out of it. Also, it also pull out all the dependencies that needed to run this jar, put everything in this target folder. Okay, then all that we need to do is just share that final packaging folder or assembly folder to anyone who wants to run that test. So what they need to do, simply copy that onto their local machine, do a maven clean install again. They don't need to do maven clean install also, since jar is already there. Just need to do java-jar and that jar file. It simply starts running this test. Okay, we'll do that step by step. So first important step is achieved. Create a class with main method and call testng.xml programmatically. So with this simple piece of code, we achieved that. Okay, now what I will do, uh, maven no dependencies, maven dependencies. Okay, if I go to this folder, do this pom.xml, copy this pom.xml. Okay, okay. So first thing it had was this dependencies, build plugin maven assembly plugin package single. Okay, so first thing we need to do is tell which is the main class. For that, what we did, under the, we added a plugin in this pom.xml. Okay, you know what is pom.xml? That is maven's configuration file. So maven understands this pom.xml, then only it starts build process, or maven uh, knows from this pom.xml how to build. Okay, so this is a major component in maven. So it if there is no pom, maven doesn't understand anything and it cannot do anything. We need to tell maven what to do using this pom.xml. So maven understands this pom.xml, it accordingly builds your project. So first thing is tell which is the main method, which is the class containing main method. For that, I told you manifest. Okay, so this piece of configuration is used to tell which is your main class. Okay, what I'll do, I'll completely copy this plugin, go to the this form.xml. This is Selenium framework that we have been working on it, right? Go to that form.xml. So it has its own dependencies. Then what did I copy? I copied this piece of code, right? So it is present in build plugins, okay, and a plugin. So inside build, resources is one thing. Um, build can have plugins too, and each plugins, this is plugins, this is plural, right? It can have a plugin associated with it. So basically what I copied, this plugin part. Okay, I don't need to add this, I'll simply paste this which I copied. Okay, so under plugin section, added a plugin. Here I'm telling this is my main class. Okay, and which is my main class? This test runner.java present in test runner factory. Test runner factory, and this is the class which contains main method. Okay, add class path true. Okay, to that class path we are adding this drivers lib. Okay, and what are the other folders that we need? So I will add the conf drivers logs. We don't need logs in source class path. Okay, for now let it be like this. And next thing. Okay, so if you remember the assembly functionality of Maven, so that is achieved using a plugin called Maven assembly plugin. Okay, what it is used for? It is used to create a package out of your source code. Okay, and for that assembly we need to create assembly configuration file. Okay, so this demo assembly.xml. Okay, if you go to this maven d folder, so in our training I created this project and explained this complete assembly functionality. Okay, here inside conf, see this demo assembly.xml. So this palm.xml is different. Okay, this is maven's core. Okay, but this this assembly.xml is a configuration file which is used only for assembly purpose, or which is used only to create assembly. See, it has the stuff. So in target folder, what are the different formats of your uh, uh, output should be? That is, it should contain both directory as well as tar.gz, that is zipped version of this directory. And it also says, so dependency set. Okay, so dependency, what is dependencies? All the files that we have, all the dependencies that we added in maven. Okay, so if I go here, maven dependencies, right? These are all maven dependencies. So these are all needed at runtime for our jar to be run. Okay, in order to do that, what we are doing, simply copy all maven dependencies into your target assembly. See here, see it has all that. Okay, if you recollect, okay, your in your target folder we are creating a directory. This is the directory. Okay, this is the assembly folder, and we are also creating tar.gz. See, this is tar.gz along with the jar. Now inside this, okay, we want to also copy all the folders which are needed to run this jar file. We need configuration folder, we need drivers, we need the library. Okay, so this just this jar is not sufficient to run your tests. Okay, or just you can't run this jar alone. We need to have all the dependencies along with it, then only we can run it. So to achieve this, to achieve this packaging, okay, we are using this assembly configuration file. Here we are first telling what are the output formats. Okay, then we are also telling what are the different folders that need to be copied into that. Okay, for dependency sets, this piece of code or this piece of configuration is needed to copy all the maven dependencies. That means all the jars, your selenium jar, your apache poa jar. Okay, and whatever jars that you are using, that jars are copied using this piece of code into your assembly folder. Now here file sets. File sets are, see the for, so this is your library lib, right? This is maven dependencies. But the other two folders, they are not maven dependencies. They are just physical folders. Conf folder containing all the configuration files. Drivers folder containing all the drivers needed for running your Selenium test. Okay. So to achieve that, we have added the other two things. See, So project build directory dot jar. See, when you do maven clean install, it builds and creates jar, right? See, this is the jar. So using this piece of code, we are telling maven that copy the the .jar file present in this my project build directory. What is project build directory? Target, this folder is the project build directory. We are telling that copy this file into this folder. See, this is also present here. The file that is the jar that got created over here directly under this target folder or directly under your project build directory, we want that into our final assembly folder. So to do that, this piece of code is used. So what we are telling, the source directory is project build directory, that is target directory. From that, okay, copy that into assembly directory. What needs to be copied? The jar file. So since there is only one jar file, that got copied over here. Similarly, the second one that we are trying to copy is the drivers folder. Where is the drivers folder is present? Project base directory. Project base directory is this directory. Okay. So this is project build directory. Target folder is project build directory. We are not looking over here. We are looking over here. That is project base directory. This project base directory has drivers folder. Okay. So copy the drivers folder present in your project base directory in as drivers folder in your assembly folder. Okay. See, this drivers folder got copied over here under this. Similarly, copy configuration folder also. Okay, the same thing we did now. So I just recollected what I have explained you earlier. Now we want to do same thing to our Selenium framework project. Okay, because I want to create a assembly folder like this, which I can share to anyone, which has the jar and also the other dependent folders which are needed to run that jar. Okay, so the same thing we need to implement over here. Okay, first thing I'll do is I'll simply copy this demo assembly.xml. Okay, so what I'll do here in this conf folder, I'll create new configuration file. I'll name it assembly.xml. Okay, so there is no restriction on the name of this configuration file. You can give any name. So I'll give assembly.xml. So in it, I'm pasting this. Okay, if you compare these two projects, this Maven D and Selenium framework, it it had only two new folders that were created by us. One is conf folder and drivers folder. But whereas the Selenium framework, along with conf and drivers, we have also created logs. Okay, see this logs folder. We need to add that too. So for that, what I'll do, I'll copy one piece of code and just edit that. Here, what we want, logs, right? Where do we want to copy? Or we copy it as a logs folder again in my assembly folder. Okay, so now I have added the third one also. Similarly, if you have n number of other folders which are manually created by us and you want all of them to be present along with jar to run that jar, then all that you need to do is just copy all those folders or in your assembly.xml, put the steps to copy them into your final assembly folder. So now I have added logs too. Okay, so now I am ready with my assembly.xml. Next thing that I need to do is I should go to pom.xml. Okay, here I need to mention this assembly plugin. Okay, so this is my assembly plugin. uh, in which phase this plugin gets executed, my packaging phase. Okay, and the goal is to the name of the goal is single. Okay, let's not worry about this, just copy this. Okay, here I need to properly mention my assembly file. So my assembly file is present in conf folder. Okay, so now maven, when it is uh, in packaging phase. Okay, so this is the plugin that it is using to do this packaging. Okay, and to that plugin it is also telling that go and look in this conf assembly.xml file to see all the assembly related configuration and do your packaging accordingly. Okay, then our maven assembly plugin understands this assembly.xml accordingly, it does the packaging. Okay, okay, now I am ready with that too. And what else I missed? Profiles, let's not worry about it now because we have not implemented any profiles. Resources, okay, I have added that resource too. This was the resource, but I have not enabled this filtering for resources. uh, Here see, filtering is true. So if you remember what is filtering, filtering is uh, when we implement profiles, instead of hard coding the values like qa1 environment dot qa1 dot xyz.com, qa.xyz.com, production.xyz.com. So all those parameters uh, whose values change according to the platform that they are being run. So in all those cases we implement profiles. Okay, and we put placeholders in your configuration files. Okay, and maven, when it is doing maven clean install, it replaces all those placeholders with actual values based on the profiles that we are giving. See, so this is the profiles, right? So for qa server.host is I am the qa host. Okay, similarly for production, this host. So in my configuration files, if you remember in this file, you see here I have placed placeholders. When I do maven clean install, and when I'm doing manual install, I need to give the profile, okay, which I need to use. Then what maven does is, so since this is a placeholder, this is not the actual value, it will go and look in your pom.xml for that profile. So this is my profile. So if the profile is qa, so it replaces this server.host with I am the qa host. It replaces with server.host with I am the qa host. We go to target. See, I'm the production host. We at that time we ran it with production profile, so it replaced with production values. Okay, for that, that process of replacing placeholders with actual values is called as filtering. So in order to uh, tell maven that I need filtering also, you need to do this. You need to give this. Okay, tell that. Okay, when so do this filtering on all the files present in this conf. Okay, so if you go back to our maven tutorials, you will understand this. Okay, so what I am doing, I'll copy these two, I'll put as this. Okay, conf for this directory, I'll replace our resource with resource. Okay, so this is ready. Okay, now I feel I am ready with all the configurations. Okay, so two configurations that we are using. One is assembly.xml. Okay, which is nothing but simply copying the uh, build output into a single folder, or which is also called as packaging assembly folder. Okay, I'm ready with that configuration file, also the main file, that is pom.xml. Okay, now let me do a maven clean install. Let's see what happens. Target. So this target, okay, anyhow when I do maven clean, this target first gets deleted. Run as maven clean. See, clean means deleting the C workspace Selenium framework target folder. It's simply deleting target folder. Okay, if you see over here, nothing is left there. Okay, okay, let me do a maven install. If you remember what is install, there are multiple phases in maven. Okay, install is some fifth or sixth phase. So when you do this maven install, it starts with your first resource. Okay, compile. Okay, there are multiple phases. It implements all the phases one after another. So basically it builds your project totally completely. Okay, it said build success. If I go into target folder, okay, it has created my assembly folder. See, it assembled my jar. This is the jar file along with all the other folders that I need for running my tests. Okay, conf is there, drivers is there, lib is there, and somehow logs folder did not get copy over here. Logs, see, even though I added logs over here, it was not copied over. See here, inside this conf drivers lib is there, but logs is not there. Let me go back to my assembly.xml. Okay, I need to, this is not project build directory, this is project base directory. Okay, project build directory or target directory, but I don't want that. ఉందా అయితే 10 నిమిషాలు రోజు లేదు. అవునా, కలుద్దాం. Okay, let me do a clean install again. First I'll do a maven clean. Okay, it deleted all the contents in your target folder. Run as. Second thing, maven install. Okay, it's doing that also. See, okay, build success. If I go to target folder, refresh it. Okay, see the other folders. Okay, conf maven archiver. Okay, maven status, this jar. Okay, except these two. See, I am highlighting these two. Okay, the other things get created in this target folder by default. Okay, but whereas the two things that I have selected or that highlighted are part of our assembly plugin. Okay, since in my assembly plugin, in that configuration, I told you to create one directory. Okay, this is the directory. Also I am telling to create the zip tar.gz of this directory. Okay, so why I need to? Okay, so if I want to run locally, I can simply go inside and run that jar. But if I want to share this to someone, okay, so instead of again explicitly going and zipping it, here itself I am telling to create one zip also. If I want to share that to anyone, I share this zip, which is the compressed form of this. Okay, but if I want to run my local, I can directly go inside here. So inside this, see now, this is the jar, this is needed. Okay, and in order to run this jar, I need the configuration, I need the drivers, I need the Maven dependencies, that is lib folder, which are all the Selenium jars, POA jars, TestNG jars, all the stuff needed to run this jar, are all the classes that I used inside this. Then logs. Okay, so when I run this jar, logs should be written somewhere, right? Where they will be written inside the logs. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll go inside that folder. Okay, it's here. Go to C workspace, Selenium framework. Inside target, this is my assembly folder. Here I have all the stuff. I'll do a shift right click, open command window here. I am here. Here, what I'll do this Java hyphen jar Selenium jar. What happened? Cannot find the file specific. What is that file? Test runner factory. Nothing to run. Okay, somehow the test method is failing. Okay, let me go and see here. If I go inside this conf, okay, only this conf folder has only one file. See what happened is, so basically in my project root directory, there is a conf folder. Inside I have all the configuration files that I needed. Okay, all the config.properties, assembly.xml, log4j.xml that are needed. But when I copied that complete conf folder, okay, into this folder, only config.properties got copied and not the other ones. Okay, okay, let us go and look, check into this assembly.xml. Here conf, we are copying all the stuff, project build directory to conf, and if I go to here, okay, see here from this conf folder we are copying only star.properties. That's why only config properties are created. What I'll do, I'll change it to star. Okay, so from project base directory, so that is this. Okay, from there we are telling to copy all the contents present in this conf directory to project build directory conf. Where is that? Project build directory or target. In target there is conf. Okay, here we had this filter like this properties. So this was only copying the star dot properties. That is the only file with dot properties extension. So config dot properties was the only file with this extension. So only it got copied. Now what I did, I changed it to star dot dot, so that the all the things present in conf folder are first copied into target conf folder. Okay, from there, from target conf folder, assembly.xml is taking care of copying them. See, from the project build directory, that is target. Okay, this is target conf, this folder. From there, copy everything into conf folder into your assembly folder. Okay, this is Selenium framework. Now I will do man clean install again. How to do that? Go back. You need to go to project root folder. Here also I need to come out of it. Then do a maven clean install. Okay, instead of doing that from Eclipse, this is actually preferable way. This is the recommended way. Okay, maven clean install, build success. Okay, what I do, I go to target folder is nothing but project build directory. Inside that, I'll go into my assembly, and that is ఉన్నాను ఒక్క నిమిషం. Okay, here I am. Okay, if I do this directory, it has all the stuff. Okay, let me see over here. Now if I go to this conf, one thing Nana, 10 minutes. See, now all the files got copied. Okay, now I can do this java hyphen jar. What is the jar that was present there? This one. What happened? It is strongly recommended to add doc type suit at the top of your file, otherwise testng may fail. Or so basically, see, it has picked that testng.xml, which is present in conf testng.xml. Okay, let me copy this, put it over here. Target folder conf. Okay. I have added this. To my okay, wait. I go to testng.xml. I did not use that over there. It is actually growing. RHML, so line number 17, column number 9. The content of element type test must match method selectors, parameters, groups, packages, classes. Mm, if I go to target, inside that conf testng.xml, here are the error thrown, line number 17, column number 9. What is line number 17? Okay, I don't need, I think. Run this again. Failures one, skips one. Okay, mm, test output. Test home page test. No class definition found error. Arc, OpenKey, Selenium, Chrome driver. They are there, right? Chrome driver is there.